The KOHLER Courage Floppy Carburetor Bolt Conundrum. It's the title of this video. So you have a 18 horse, 19, 20 or 21 horse KOHLER Courage. This one's a 20, but they made it in 4 different sizes horsepower. What is known as a bucket motor. And like most of them, you're having carburetor problems and or valve adjustment problems, and she's spitting gas through there when she's running, or it's just leaking gas sitting still. So you looked on YouTube and you went through all the videos and found out that the carburetor either needs to be replaced or rebuilt. Okay, so then you went out there and you took the air cleaner off and you messed around and got the carburetor taken off of it, and you find this right here. This here bolt right here doing this shit right here. You see, alright? And sometimes it's even not there. You might walk out there and discover that the bolt is missing altogether. Well, good news is for you, that bolt is not missing. The bolt has already went through the hole and is inside behind this little plastic cover. How did that happen? Well, you'll find out that the bolt is actually indeed in there. Now, this is a plastic shroud that goes around the bottom of the cylinder, and it helps direct air around that cylinder to keep the engine cool. Motor won't run without it. I mean, it'll run without it, but it'll run hot. It won't stay cool without it. It's a more proper term. So, how are we going to fix that? Well, the chances are you may not have to fix it, because it is a square shoulder bolt, much like a carriage bolt. And if you put the carburetor back on and pull outward at the same time that you're putting this on, you can make the carburetor go back on there and tighten up. But that's not what we're going to do in this video. Now, the only bolt that holds this whole cover on is this one screw right here. It's a 5/16 and or 8mm fastener. You take that there bolt out, and this is also the bolt what grounds the carburetor solenoid, cutoff solenoid, this thing here. See that wire coming off? There's probably on your mower that wire is connected right there, more than likely. So when you take that off, the whole cover comes off. Now I'm going to walk in here in the shop because I've already got one removed, and I'm going to show you how she's put together, and then we're going to fix it. Alright, so walk this way with me a minute. Try not to fall. Alright, and so here we go. Here is our cover. This one's been removed and cleaned up. Let me turn this fan down so you can hear what I'm saying. Yeah, that's a pretty full ashtray right there. But this cover has been taken off of another engine and cleaned up, and the new bolt. This is looking at the cover from the inside, y'all. Okay, let me set this here phone up where it'll sit there. Alright, I gotta figure out a way to set my phone still for a minute so I can demonstrate this mess to you. This is the air filter off of that particular engine. Alright, so this is what the cover looks like from the outside as it sits on the mower. Okay, this is actually the bolt that you took out with the ground wire on it. This is the square hole where that wiggly bolt goes through. Okay, so the bolt goes through just like this here. You see that? And that's how. And if you turn this thing around and look at it from the back side, there is a boss right here, or a recess, and the head of that bolt is flat actually. Where are we at here? Where's the camera? There it is. And that's how it's made, and it sits in there like so. Alright, now I'm going to show you guys the gasket that goes right there. This is KOHLER part number 20041 18-S. Okay, what this is what they call a deflector gasket. And there it is right there. Now let's take her out of the package. If I can find my knife I just had a minute ago. We'll just, there it is right there. There's my knife. Let's take this thing. Well, that knife's done quit working for some reason. Let's do it this way. That's close enough for government work. Take this here little gasket out of the package. So this is our gasket right here. Alright. And what it does, now we're looking at everything from the inside out, okay? But this gasket mounts, you see it's got that solid part on it right there? This gasket mounts on there, something like that. And that is what helps hold this bolt from pushing in and out when you put the carburetor back on, you see? You see what I'm saying? Alright. But we can do better than that. We're going to actually take some JB Weld, the quick kind, the 6-minute stuff, and we're going to put some JB underneath this thing, and we're going to make it where it sits up solid. Now we got to be careful when we put the JB to this rig, because see this right here? This is a sealing surface. And I don't mean like the ceilings in your house, and I don't mean the seals that are on the rocks out on the Pacific Ocean. Sealing, S-E-A-L-I-N-G, means this thing can't leak air, or this mower's not going to ever run right. You understand? Which is the whole purpose of having the gasket in the first place. So, that being said, we are going to pull the bolt out. We're going to use a very conservative amount of JB Weld along here and here. And maybe here and here. But inside this boss, or recess, as you will, we're going to put just a very small amount of JB on there. Okay? And some of that JB Weld, when we get it in there and get it all pushed together and fastened up, is going to actually push through on this side. Now, there's a little bit of room. You can't, see, this is also another sealing surface, and you can't have anything that's going to interrupt that seal, you see, because this is the gasket that goes on this side. And if you can see that pattern in the gasket right there, that little line with the lobe to it, that gasket, that lobe is actually this line right here. So this baby has to seal really tight, or this carburetor is going to leak air. And when the carburetor leaks air, it causes a lean burn, and a lean burn equals hot engine. Okay. But the goal of this whole job is to make this, or attempt to make this thing, not be floppy in that. That's what we're going for in this video. So, that's an introduction to it. And we're already in this thing 9 minutes, for crying out loud. Nobody's going to watch this video that long. So I'm gonna close this video out right here. And then I'll go ahead and mix up my JB Weld, and we'll start on the actual repair of the piece. Okay? Thank you so much for watching.